Hey guys, this is Savannah Hernandez in front of the White House with, yes, one of those Epstein File binders. Now, I want to clear something up immediately and state that nobody from the Trump admin gave us these binders and said, you guys are going to be the ones responsible for disseminating this information. They actually told us that there's going to be a press conference at any moment now, most likely this afternoon, in which all of the information in this binder is made available to the American public. Now, Pam this morning stated to us that some of the information in here is already public, and she doesn't really feel that any of this information is a smoking gun. The big story here is Pam writing a letter to Kash Patel asking him to investigate why the FBI has stopped the release of other portions of the Epstein files. So that is what is currently going on, and I wanted to come out as a journalist as well and state that, again, we are not responsible for deciding what does or does not come out. All of the information in this binder will be made public. Pam Bondi herself stated that she wants all of the Epstein files to be made public to the American people, not just to influencers or independent journalists, but that in itself has been a process. Now, one of the reasons why I have this is because the Trump admin right now is making a big push for not only transparency, but being welcoming to independent journalists who might have been looked down on, ignored, or even censored over the last 4 years. This administration is making a big push right now to allow America.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. So, you know, in the immortal words of a hack CNN journalist, I can't think of his name right now, but this is a big nothing burger right now. But that girl actually did a pretty good job of explaining exactly what was going on here. You know, like, obviously a lot of the stuff that's on this list, we already know. Like, we already knew all these names. It's just a contact list, you know. It's just, all they did was redact all the information. Again, there's a lot going on here. The biggest thing, like she mentioned, is the letter that Pam Bondi wrote to Kash Patel saying that this FBI office is not cooperating with us. So that's a big deal, you know. Like, I'm sure people on the left are going, they're heroes for not cooperating. You know, they're stopping Trump and his evil. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is just, we're trying to expose corruption and evil, one of the largest human trafficking rings in the world that has some of the most dirt on the most people ever. You know, and again, are we all, it's like I said, you know, the other day, the longer we waited for this list to come out, the less likely that I think it was to be released. And again, it's just a release of things we already know. And I was watching the Timcast the other day, and it's like, you know, they were all talking, going, look, do you really think if the most powerful billionaires in the world and all the most powerful celebrities here in the U.S. were all implicated in these crimes and all this stuff, and implicated in human trafficking, that they wouldn't have already had all this stuff redacted? You know, it's like, or do you think the FBI or CIA is going to allow their leverage over these people to go away? It's like, once this is exposed, you know, it's like, we can't have Tom Hanks, we can't have, you know, whatever billionaires we can't force their compliance with the government anymore because they've been exposed.
Well, and here's the other part of this that a lot of people don't even think about is, like, do you think that these FBI agents that are privy to this information
Are innocent?
Yeah. Well, no, not that. Like, I was gonna say, like, just want to give up their leverage. I mean, if you as a person knew about this person's corruption, or, you know, that you had dirt on this person and you retire from the FBI, do you think that you're just going to stop blackmailing that person?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, think about that.
Why
would you give up that cash cow?
That's why Alex Jones calls his show InfoWars. I mean, guys, knowledge is power. No, information is power. Like, being an information and intel broker is a big deal. I mean, like, again, that's how Jeffrey Epstein got rich. He didn't get rich. Like, I mean, he wasn't a Wall Street guy. Like, everyone's like, he was a teacher who somehow became, Wall Street savvy, and then made his. It's like, no, he didn't. He got his start by, I'm assuming, being an FBI and CIA informant, and being allowed to have influence peddle and have blackmail and dirt on the most powerful people in the world. It's like, hey, give me, I'm going to be your stockbroker, and you're going to invest and pay me to make investments for you. But the only thing that he was investing was in information over these people.
But I do have that letter pulled up from Pam Bondi to Kash Patel.
Yeah,
if you want me to go ahead and read it. Okay. If you can't read it, if you can't see it here, it says, "Dear Director Patel, before you come into my office, I request a full, complete files related to the Jeffrey Epstein. In response to this request, I have received 200 pages of documents which consist primarily of flight logs, Epstein's list of contacts, and list of victims' names and phone numbers. I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request, and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, I learned from a source in the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Despite my repeated request, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. When you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised as I was to learn this new information. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, February 28th, the FBI will deliver the full, complete Epstein list to my office, including all records, documents, audio, video recordings, and material related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients regarding how much information was obtained. There will be no withholdings or limitations to my or your access. The Department of Justice will ensure that any public disclosure of these files will be done in a manner to protect the privacy of the victims in accordance with the law, as I have done in my entire career as a prosecutor. I also am directing you to conduct an immediate investigation into why my order to the FBI was not followed. You will deliver me a comprehensive report of your findings and proposed personal action within 14 days. I appreciate your immediate attention to this important matter. I know that you and I are both committed to transparency for the American people, and I look forward to continuing working with you to serve our president and our country. And that's Pam Bondi.
Yeah, that's about the only new piece of information that we've got, thanks to this particular drop. Again, they might have been getting a little too bold. I mean, this might all just be a PR stunt for the media. You know, I mean, like, and it's like they're doing it like Avengers style. It's like, this is phase 1. You know, it's like, this is just like Iron Man and Captain America, the standalone movies. Like, don't worry, more's coming. You know, again, maybe they promised too big. Again, we know that the FBI is not being very cooperative. I mean, if your job was at stake and you didn't like the administration, like, why the heck? You have no incentive to help. You have no incentive to expose. And again, the bigger picture here is, why would any of these people give up dirt that they can use leverage over? I mean, it doesn't seem like a smart move.
Yeah. Again, it's like, once you get into that seat of power, you know, this could be them just saying that, you know, they don't have any of this information, but they've seen it, and it's so, you know,
Damning.
it's so damning that, like, why would we give up this information?
Again, yeah. Why do you think the Democrats are so in bed with Hollywood? You know, it's like they have all this Diddy stuff. They have all this Epstein stuff. You wonder why Hollywood's so left-wing. Well, maybe it's because they're not organically left-wing. Maybe it's because over the years they just said, hey, by the way, we had you introduced to this celebrity named Diddy, or we had you introduced to this celebrity named Epstein, and then you went to his island. By the way, you probably didn't know this, but you actually slept with an underage girl. If you want to stay in your seat of power, you're just going to do what we say and toe whatever lines that we tell you to toe. Whenever we call you, you pick up that phone and this is what you're going to say to the public or to whoever. Mm-hmm. Or this is a introduction you're going to set up with like a Hollywood celebrity introducing a CIA operative to a Hollywood executive.
Yep. Well, speaking of Diddy, I have this meme that we had pulled up from yesterday. Diddy kept videos of all his parties. That's enough dirt to hang half of Hollywood.
Yeah, people going, maybe it's 4D chess. You know, like, we just want to know. You know, we want, again, transparency is key, and they keep using the word transparency, but again, when it comes to power and it comes to having leverage over people, that's the job of the CIA and the FBI. I mean, well, the FBI technically is to prosecute crimes and cases. The CIA is leverage. You know, they're not James Bond. You know, they're the whole James Bond being a wet operative, whatever. That is, if anything, that's like the special forces of the CIA. Like you don't see very many wet operations in the CIA. Again, this is a leverage machine. This is a dirt machine. And again, as much as I wish that this is going to come to fruition, I mean, I just don't see it coming to fruition. I don't foresee this ever getting released or, getting more than we already have. You're just going to have the names of all the celebrities that we already knew about. Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, all these people who went to the island. You're just like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. But again, which people were, and they're never going to tell us which people were actually complicit, which people assisted him in getting underage girls, and what celebrities were just there and victims of circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Or, it's like, again, you don't think Jeffrey Epstein has a favorite celebrity? You're like, oh, I just want to meet Tom Hanks so bad. It's like, I didn't actually get any dirt on him. I just wanted to meet him because he's my favorite celebrity. You don't think that's possible too? And I get it. It's like there's a million things that I wish that we could get done here. But, maybe Pam Bondi and this Trump promise for the Epstein client list was just a bit too ambitious, especially with an FBI office that is working actively against him currently.
Exactly. Now, just to show that this is not us just speculating. Like, here is Tim Pool talking about how corrupt this particular FBI office in New York is right now and how against Trump they are. So check this out.
I've got a clarification and a correction. I just did a quick search. The Southern District of New York has conducted multiple investigations involving Trump. The Michael Cohen investigation, the inaugural committee investigation, attempts to influence SDNY. So the Cohen thing is particularly interesting. In August 2018, SDNY prosecutors charged Michael Cohen, Trump's former attorney, with campaign finance violations related to hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. So that is the hush money case that they've brought against Trump. I believe that was at the state level, though. I could be wrong. It all. My apologies, but like, so much has happened. It kind of just muddles together,
Yeah.
The theory that this is some kind of 4D chess scheme.
Yeah, that's kind of getting into our speculation now. But that's how corrupt this FBI office is that they've been communicating with. This is the FBI office that is straight up like,
brought
hey,
every single
we're doing
against
all
Trump.
the charges against Trump. So, yeah.
Again, you think this office that has all the Epstein evidence is going to be like, absolutely, we're working with you 100%, Mr. President. I mean, what should have happened first thing was everybody in that office got fired, and they said, don't even clean out your desks. Don't delete your files. Just get out, and you're going to leave your password on your desk, and then we're going to go in there and get access to everything you have. And just replace it with new people that they could trust. And that's all that should have happened. But again, you have all these people who are still there, still working. It's like whoever the director of that particular office is, whoever's the manager in charge, he's sitting there going, guys, start cleaning crap out. Like none of us are going to be here very long, and we need to start getting rid of stuff that implicates us.
Yep. And that brings me to this next meme that I pulled up right here, which you sent to me. The FBI should have all paychecks frozen until all Epstein files are released. Now, I completely agree with that logic, but again, that's what I just told you is like, if you are the FBI agent who actually has this information and the government is financially benefiting, or you personally, you're not getting rid of that information. You're just literally deleting all the information that's record, and you're keeping it for yourself.
Again, how many? It's like the Dark Knight. It's like, do you know how many people? You know how big a target you're going to have on the back of your head, Mr. Dent? Do you know how many people's wallets, cops, lawyers, what other attorneys and judges who are on payroll from the mob? You know how many people whose wallets are about to get lighter that are about to be gunning for you? That's what's happening right now. And again, knowledge is power.
Yep.
Information is power. And this again, even if you're looking at it from a strictly intelligence and leverage standpoint, as a leader, even as much as I'd be like, yeah, no, I want as much transparency as possible. I want to let the American people know to what extent the FBI and CIA were involved in Epstein's Island and Diddy's parties. That giving up that leverage over people
Is hard.
Is hard.
Extremely
Because,
difficult.
it's like, again, hey, Leo, it's like the FBI needs a place for a bunch of agents to stay. We think your island resort is a good place for our FBI agents to stay or our CIA operatives to stay for a while. He's like, absolutely. I know that you've got every single orgy I was a part of on film, so you guys just stay here as long as you want.
Yeah. Yep. But which brings me to the next kind of point that everyone's been bringing up is like, everyone's like, the FBI is so good. They do great things. And like, we're forgetting that the FBI didn't prevent this. I mean, remember, there's then evidence that someone was meeting with him was Crooks. Yep. Yeah. And then there's also this one, which is my personal favorite, the January 6th pipe bomber, who was we've never heard anything about this guy anymore. Yeah. This guy just is a ghost, disappeared off the face of the earth. And look, with all the cell phone records and stuff
he's
that you can get.
Yeah, this pipe bomber's a lot like Patriot Front. You know, it's like, again, now that Trump's in office, I think Patriot Front's gonna. It's like what you said. I think they're gonna disappear. Like those guys that wear khakis, wear the masks
yeah.
and the blue polos or whatever.
People on the right don't wear masks.
Yes,
they're not afraid to show who they are.
Again, yeah, I know. Like people on the right, like we have the conviction and the wherewithal to stand by what we say and show our face. Like you put my name to that. You know, it's like it's like whenever people say on God. You know, it's like on God. This is what I believe. And my opinion can change if better information comes to me. But this is what I believe.
Yep.
You know, again, people on the left, they hide. They won't stand by their convictions. And then when their convictions are challenged, they just scream, cry, and call you out and say, you're the bad guy. You believe in conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm. So now, like, and they always point out that these people are always on their phones right before they do their thing. Like, there's even the thing of Daniel Crooks.
I mean, yeah, you think this guy's talking to his FBI informant or his CIA informant, or you think he's going, "Hey, Mom, can you pick me up some taquitos on the way home?" you know, like, I mean, are you kidding me with this stuff?
Yeah.
And again, Thomas Crooks had his house, professionally scrubbed. Like, there was no silverware in the house, for God's sake.
And the first kid in history to not have any type of social media. Like
not considering the fact that he was caught on multiple social media, like he would like go and argue with like Republicans and stuff.
Yeah,
but
like, that was people technically videotaping him.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, I was like, this kid has no social media.
Clearly, he was consuming social media information. Like this kid was not just he definitely had a YouTube page at least. You know what I mean? Not saying he had created his own videos, but he had his own channel. Because again, if you just have a let's say if I wasn't logged into my YouTube account, I wouldn't get to see the stuff that the YouTube algorithm subscribes to me based on what I'm subscribed to. If you're just unlogged into YouTube and you're just getting the garbage that YouTube promotes on their unlogged in screen, you're not gonna get filtered into the algorithms that you yourself create based on the videos you watch. You're only gonna get pushed the YouTube garbage.
Yeah. Well, and that's also the point here is like this little comment on this one just pointed out a great point. Like the FBI hunted down January 6ers based on, like just like their profiles of their eyes and, nose and stuff like. But this guy, nothing, like they could get hundreds of January 6 protesters, but a January 6 pipe bomber, like nothing. Like, no, this guy's a ghost.
Yeah, he's a ghost. It's like he wasn't even there. Oh my God, that's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Oh my God, seriously, it's like this pipe bomber guy is our Jason Bourne. Like he's the real life Jason Bourne. We just have no clue. I mean, he is the best operative ever. Again, we caught Luigi Mangione like that. And again, that's why, again, a big part of me thinks Luigi Mangione might just be a fall guy, why is it that he was caught so quickly? But this guy, nothing.
Yep.
Thomas Crooks, nothing. The Las Vegas shooter, nothing. The largest shooting in American history, and we know nothing about it. The Las Vegas shooting, we know nothing about.
Yeah. Which brings me to the next meme that I have pulled up here. It's that from Peaky Blinders or whatever it is, and it's their no fighting meme, but it says no redactions, no effing redactions.
Yeah. And again, that's the libertarian way, though. But again, a lot of these people, some of these people, again, could just totally be, just because they're on Jeffrey Epstein has your contact information doesn't mean you went to the island. Doesn't mean you were part of anything. Just goes, hey, I have, It's like, imagine if I could look at you and be like, hey, I have Steven Spielberg's phone number. It's like, I don't ever call him, but I have his phone number.
Yeah, exactly. Having a phone number doesn't mean anything.
You remember that? It's like that story that, what's that artist that you like so much? He was, Lord, It's Hard to Be Humble.
Oh man, I forgot his name. Mac Davis. Mac Davis is who
Mac Davis told that story about the time he met Elvis. He goes, he got really upset because a bunch of people told him he shouldn't have been sitting next to Elvis at the movie, even though Elvis invited him there. And he was like, I knew this would happen. And he goes, well, and Elvis was like, hey, why are you upset? Like, what's going on here? He goes, I just, your entourage was mad that I was hanging out with you and was trying to get buddy with you. And he was like, what can I do to make this blow over? Like, what can I do to make you happy?
Give me your personal phone number.
I want your personal phone number. And he asked his assistant, he goes, hey, what's my phone number? I've never used it. So Mac Davis had Elvis's phone number, but didn't ever call him. He just, I just want to say that I have your personal phone number. And that's what it was. I mean, so that could very well be what's going on with a lot of these names on the list.
Exactly. And then brings you to this next meme here again is this is true is like the FBI has a history of not sharing all information or being transparent about everything. I mean, look right here. The would-be Trump assassin Thomas Crooks may have had an accomplice, data shows. As FBI says, as investigators say, FBI is suppressing this information.
Yeah, again, seriously, like Thomas Crooks had some. I mean, he had a pretty decent rifle. He had a rangefinder. Guys, if you know anything about a rangefinder, they ain't cheap. I mean, you're telling me
The cheapest one would be like at least like $100, like $100.
Yeah, but we're talking about
if we're talking a good one, yeah, they're like $200 to $500 to even $1,000.
Yeah. So the things he had, like that rifle was a good rifle. You know, I mean, it wasn't cheap. You know, I mean, I know that. I guess if you're going out big, you know, you don't have to worry about leaving anything behind. But geez.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, folks. There's just a lot of convenience things, and we know that he went to the FBI office multiple times. His phone was tracked there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know if it was his phone, but a phone was tracked going from his house to FBI field headquarters. Yeah. So either way, suspicious stuff, which means that somebody from the FBI was visiting his house multiple times, or at least that works at the FBI headquarters. Maybe he's not technically FBI, but either way, suspicious, highly suspicious.
What else you got? What other?
That's really about it regarding this. I mean, I guess I'll pull this one up real quick because we talked about this one.
Yeah.
Let me do full screen that one. Multi-screen. There we go.
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoff?
You know,
Yeah. I mean, I remember that. I remember this interview. I hope that the Epstein list does get fully released, but I mean, at this point, like, you know, billionaires trying to cover their butts, or two, it could be is the biggest letdown ever would be like the Trump administration be like, this dirt is so hot, so spicy, we can't release it. We have to keep this covered up. The only things we can do is release the victim stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I also find it suspicious that he had a press conference with Keir Starmer the day that they did this, the afternoon, like just like a couple hours after they gave that information to those what are they called, influencers, the right-wing influencers. He's having a meeting with Keir Starmer. Now, if you remember, one of the princes, was it Prince Harry, or was one of them, was visited Epstein's island
multiple times.
So I find it kind of suspicious that we're releasing information and we're meeting with somebody, with the leader of Great Britain, or, you know, the UK or whatever, and they're trying, and they, like, the crown has a heavily vested interest in making sure that no dirt like this ever comes out on a prince, a member of the royal family.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. I mean, the royal family's got a lot of problems of its own, you know. But yeah, no, this is absolutely insane. The fact that but again, they know. I mean, we know. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that Prince Harry went to the island, or I think that's who it is, Prince Charles, right?
Yeah, it's one of them. I forget which one.
But you know, that's what they're doing. They are. You know, it's like what we said yesterday. You said we can keep all the dirt and information on the foreign people. It's like, yeah, no, sure, we can keep this dirt so we can leverage it against them however we want. You know, and that's probably what Trump's doing currently,
exactly.
is leveraging. It's like, hey,
that's why I said, I go, the best case scenario would be we find out all the dirt about all American citizens, and we can keep the stuff that's
with all those millionaires and billionaires. You know, again, it's like if these people are like thrown in jail or whatever, like the economy will shut down, because remember, the billionaires and the millionaires pay the vast majority in taxes. Like, I mean, the economy will just tank if we can't use these people as our pay pigs, essentially.
Yeah, that's what the government would think.
Yeah,
that's 100%.
So that's another reason why they'd be like, hey, we can't implicate these people, because remember, the vast majority of taxes are paid by these billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
So tough luck, American people, if we get rid of these people in their company. But again, you know, it's like, we'll just give it to their crappy kid to run it, you know, or let the shareholders run it, you know.
Exactly. I mean,
but again,
there's ways around it.
There is absolutely ways around it. So, I mean, just let them get there. Like, again, you think these billionaires are going to go to, you know, pound them in the butt prison? No, they're going to be like, you're just going to be under house arrest for the rest of your
And
days, like
if
Martha
they're-
Stewart.
If they're that wealthy, they're not getting arrested. They're immediately getting on a plane and flying
Oh,
overseas
yeah.
somewhere with no extradition, like Diddy originally did.
yeah, yeah.
But this next one that I have here is this also just goes like the hypocrisy of the left right now is Jill Biden attending cabinet meetings in Joe Biden's place. OMG, this is so great. Women empowerment. And then Elon Musk attending cabinet meetings. He's unelected.
Yeah, again, I mean, remember, Jill Biden was running the shadow cabinet. You know, I'm like, she was in charge. I mean, Joe was not going to anything.
Yeah, and files and stuff that they have found out later that it seemed like it was literally Jill Biden trying to keep Biden in office, whereas everybody else was like, we kind of need him out.
Yeah.
It was literally Jill that was like, no, he's staying. He's okay.
Yeah, I mean, and again, Trump is totally within his rights to appoint people like Elon Musk or Vivek Ramaswamy to clear house, to find the rot and the bloat and the unnecessary spending. So,
Yeah. This next one I have here is the left wing doing what they do best and pretending like the
Creating
people on the
fake
right,
outrage.
creating fake outrage on the right. So, fake outrage at Doge and the GOP town halls is being coordinated by a Soros-backed NGO called Indivisible. President Trump and his Doge efforts are overwhelmingly popular among Republicans and independents. Even a majority of Democrats have approved cutting costs. And then you got these two people right here. Soros-backed couple filing GOP town halls filling GOP town halls with fake Republicans. The couple behind Indivisible, an anti-Doge antagonization organization operation targeting GOP town halls and flooding congressional phone lines, are Leah Greenberg and Ezra Levin. Their war chest stands at $11.7 million, bolstered by $7.26 million from George Soros.
again, this is what's called astroturfing. It's like if you ever bought anything off Facebook and then realized that like the company or the thing that you bought something off of Facebook was a scam, it's astroturfing. It's like it's fake reviews. It's love bombing. It's not real, like not real reviews. It's like, hey, this product that's being sold on this Facebook ad, it's 100%. People love it, but the comments are just like, it's really cool. It's exactly what I thought it would be, but there's no real depth to what it is.
Yeah.
And the only real one is like, hey, this is a fake website. You guys should not buy this. You know, it's like that. So that's what this is. Like they are getting paid.
I mean, it's called astroturfing because it looks like grass to the common man. It's grass, but I said, but the moment that you touch it, you realize this is not real grass.
It's fake. It's all fake.
Astroturfing.
Yeah, astroturfing. So that's what these guys are doing. They are they are pretending that they are Republicans, despite the fact they are not. They are left-wing progressive crazy people, and they'll dress and present themselves in a somewhat conservative way. And make it's ridiculous that Elon Musk is in charge of this. He's just a bad person. It's like, who are you? What are you talking about? And then they create faux outrage. They hire a bunch of fake actors. I mean, it's no different than Kamala Harris bussing in fake, like bussing in people from a different location to come to a
restaurant.
It's like, we're from this town. It's like, no, you're not. That's what this is. You're getting these fake town halls. You get these two losers who are organizing it, and they're using Soros money to pay people to come in, paid actors to come in and be like, yeah, we're upset. It's like, what's your district? What's your address? Where do you live? It's like, oh, we're not from this area, but, we're upset.
Yeah, I mean, this is also the problem with, like, voting down ticket. Is like, what if somebody like these people
is a
come
rhino.
on and go, they're a rhino. Yeah, they're a Republican in name only. They said they believe only in Democratic policies or vice versa for a Democrat. What if a Republican? I don't think a Republican would really ever do that on a Democratic ticket.
No, you couldn't.
Less likely. But yeah, just like, why on earth would you do down ticket if this person literally never votes in your favor? It was like how most like people in Arizona thought of John McCain. John McCain, God rest his soul, would constantly vote against his state's interest. Like the people that we voted you in here to protect these things.
Yeah, he's the guy that kept Obamacare alive. I mean, you remember that. Trump was trying to kill Obamacare, and guess what? He was like, I have principles. I'm going to vote to keep it. And everyone was like, he's a darling. The left loved him, And again, this astroturfing, it's we have created an incentive to lie. People have incentives to lie now. I mean, you get paid. Like, it's like all these. It's like what we told you about. What Brooklyn Dad Defiant and Harry Sisson. Like, they don't have to. They don't have any principles. They don't have any moral benefits. They don't even believe in a God. They can do and say whatever they want because there are no reprisals for them. You and I, if we believe in a God and we believe in our Christian ethics and our Christian morality, we're going to be held accountable one day. These other people, they'll like, dude, I'm getting paid $10,000 a month by the Democratic Party to just post talking points that they want me to say, and all I have to do is read it somewhat enthusiastically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, that's the same thing with these astroturfing fake rhino Republicans, like, oh, we're mad that Elon Musk is cutting spending. Why? Dude, Republicans, conservatives, we're all about cutting budgets and, getting rid of bloat.
And libertarians, too. I mean, that's the main reason his draw to the Libertarian Party is all his spending and economic, like lightening up the load on the government. The only thing that the libertarians don't like him on is his social, thing. But, the conservatives and libertarians will never. That's the problem. Libertarians, generally speaking, libertarians are like, they have one thing that they want to be legal, whether that's drugs, I don't know, like
Firearms.
Firearms or something. The creepier ones who's like, lower the age of consent. Like, that's the problem is like bad people will go to the Libertarian Party to try to get one illegal thing that they want to make legal again.
Yeah, it's nuts. But again, when we live in a society where people are incentivized to lie, and not only that, you can profit and make big bucks off of it too.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just came on here and started reading Democratic talking points, I guarantee you somebody from the DNC would reach out and be like, "Hey, man, just read these things, and we'll your YouTube channel is going to grow like that. You will be you'll be given power, wealth, money, women, whatever you want, and then I'll be on the Epstein client list or on the Diddy client list, and they're like, now they have dirt and leverage on me."
Yep, that's what it is. But that's really about it. I mean, that's what we got. I hope that we see some more release. I hope that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel get to the FBI office and straight up just take care of business and get those Epstein files.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate case scenario. The suboptimal would be, okay, let's just get the Americans who have, let's just release the American information.
Worst case scenario, it's just going to be we fire everybody at these particular FBI offices, and that information is just lost to them, and then they're going to create their own like dirt finding organizations, and they'll have them keep that stuff and be like, now I'm the guy that had all that Epstein stuff. I'm going to keep blackmailing the people who are on the list, and they'll be like, keep paying me, or I'll release it through Reddit or through some type of format that will make me a lot of money.
Yes, exactly, and that's the issue. But I mean, hey, if the worst case scenario that comes from this is half the FBI gets removed or fired because of this, or they remove themselves, that's a win-win, because less government alphabet organization, employees is a good thing, because it means less American citizens being looked at and being arrested for stupid reasons.
Yeah, for PTA meetings and going to school boards and calling out people for having ridiculous sex books inside libraries and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
But I think that's about all we've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
And I make nothing. Zero. Zilch. By the time I pay all my scientists, all my people in my research department, lab coats, it's a wash. Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, 'cause I'm selfless.